Hey everyone, quick disclaimer before I start. I realize I made a lot of jokes here regarding Xbox. I am not a part of the console fanboy syndrome. I do like all three major players, and I do think all three of them bring something interesting to the table. The recent stuff that came out with Xbox is super sad, and I do hope that everyone that did lose their jobs is finding new jobs in one way or another. This is just a fun little way that I cope. Hopefully you guys understand and do enjoy the video.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy TheGamingTrouge here. Xbox is just so fantastic, okay? They have a lot of my favorite IPs, the games that they get on there are arguably the best versions on there, and the controller just feels super good. There's nothing like an Xbox, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, why would I ever want to convert to a PlayStation? I mean, just look at the news. Oh, no.
What? What are you talking about?
Buzz off, you stupid movie!
I take the comment back about converting. Well, what am I supposed to do now? I don't have any other video game consoles I can rely on other than Nintendo Switch, but everyone talks about Nintendo Switch. So what kind of video game console can I talk about? Ow! PlayStation All-Star? Come on!
Growing up as a kid, I actually played a lot of video games that mostly my dad bought, and this basically came from Sega to Nintendo to Xbox. But I never really grew up with PlayStation. I would occasionally hear rumblings about PlayStation IPs, and I would occasionally hear people talk about it, but I'd never actually seen these games in action before. Like, I would hear people talk about games like Final Fantasy VII, but I would never even get my hands on a physical copy until 2017. And my hyperfixation with Sony really started when I very first ever got into the Kingdom Hearts franchise with games like Chain of Memories, Dream Drop Distance, and Coded, as you've probably seen in this video right here. Like, if I never got into this franchise, I would have never even cared about the PlayStation as a whole. Cut back to now, as I am now collecting most everything from the 7th generation, that being my favorite generation of gaming, and I hear a little game known as PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. That title really kept going. Let's get some obvious stuff out of the way. I am a big Super Smash Bros. Fan. I love Super Smash Bros. With all my heart. It's one of my favorite video game franchises, and it means a lot to me on a personal level. But honestly, every other platform fighter is pretty fun in some regards. Games like Brawl and Multiverses definitely ate up some time for me, and I have fun playing them. But in terms of a PlayStation version, this has loads of potential. Like, you can imagine characters like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and many other PlayStation legacy characters making some kind of appearance in this game. This product seems very interesting to say the least, and a lot of people have skepticism because of the first trailer, showing a lot of characters for sure, but not necessarily a lot of PlayStation characters. A lot of characters that they show are third-party whips, which, yeah, say what you will about Smash Bros, but they do also have a vast majority of first-party Nintendo IPs.
So people had skepticism, and on November 20th, 2012, the game came out, and I hear next to no one talk about this game.
This game reviewed good, but I can't find anyone online giving me a definitive answer if this game is good or not. Like, is it the fact that most people thought that this game was just a Super Smash Bros. Clone and that's pretty much it? I mean, I would probably have that same mindset if Sony decided to make their own Super Smash Bros. But looking back in retrospect and the landscape of platform fighters from both indie studios and big publishers, were we too hard on PlayStation All-Stars? And is there anyone brave enough to take up this task?
But that's because I'm the chosen one. So why don't we put in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale and let's get brawling.
First impressions is all over the place. I love how this opening is portrayed and paced. I love the music that also plays behind it. Some of this like EDM type style beat and a different contrast to something like Super Smash Bros. It's a great intro all around. It shows off all the characters that we will be playing with, and bam! Right here, online pass required. So unfortunately for this review, I had to rely on single player stuff, which that's fine. I do again the same with other platform fighters. Okay, I go into arcade mode and oh my gosh, this is the roster? Okay, now I can see why people are upset about the character roster in this game. Half of these characters are third parties. Let's rewind a little bit to the intro of this game and see how many characters are actually third parties. We start with Jak and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank. Okay, those were two prominent PlayStation mascots. Nathan Drake and Sly Cooper. Of course, now a couple of characters that have history with PlayStation. Okay, we're on a good track. Fat Princess, a PSN title. Okay, that makes sense. And the intro doesn't show it, but there's two versions of Cole McGrath from Infamous, which is a cool idea in theory, probably something like Zelda and Sheik from Melee, but why make two separate characters but the same character? Then we got the skeleton from Medieval. Okay, that's a deep cut. I hear next to no one talk about that game. That's pretty rad. A random no-name soldier from Killzone? Okay, I guess. Then we got Sackboy. Wait, what? A character from Bioshock? That's always been a third-party character. And if you want to be real specific, Bioshock was exclusive to the 360 for the first couple of months. Then we got the main character of Heavenly Blade fighting. Oh my gosh, this did not age well. So again, not getting the original games that were PlayStation exclusive, but getting the remake that was going to be multi-platform. Oops. And hey, would you look at that? An actual PlayStation character. Heihachi from Tekken. Nice! And he's fighting a rabbit mascot that was exclusive to Japan. Okay, that is crazy enough. I will buy it. Ape Escape and Parappa the Rapper, another great PlayStation legacy characters that I feel like make sense here. And there's Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 4. No, this is the Raiden from Metal Gear Rising, which is another multi-platform game. This is getting ridiculous. And we end off with Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal and Kratos from God of War. Now this, I still feel like it's a little bit of a weaker character selection. Where's Crash Bandicoot? Where's Spyro the Dragon? Cloud and Sora have yet to be in Super Smash Bros. At this time. Where are they at? Heck, in this TV spot I keep showing off, this TV spot was known as Michael. It was supposed to show how these are all PlayStation exclusive games and how everyone keeps playing these games. Well, where the freak is Lightning? And finally, circling back to Kingdom Hearts was exclusive to the PlayStation family of consoles until 2020. PlayStation confuses the heck out of me. I mean, this is the same company that tried to destroy one of the biggest products of 2024. Okay, the character lineup is mid overall. I do think it shows off a lot of PlayStation IPs, but at the same time, they just feel like they're pulling out random names out of a hat. But let's get into some praising because I love the way this arcade mode is structured. Kind of starting off like you're playing one of these games like Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter or Tekken, and they basically act like continuations of their stories, ending off with a fun rival character for them to fight, and then them fighting a PS1 tech demo. What the heck? This is definitely one of the best parts of arcade mode, and I love how it's structured here. Now let's talk about the gameplay itself. Now, besides the characters, this is something I heard talked about, that the gameplay is just broken and it's just stupid and it's just not as good as Super Smash Bros. And I can definitely see where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's trying to do its own thing. The main gameplay hook is getting this meter filled up by doing some combos and then unleashing your final smash, basically killing the opponent. That's how you gain points in this game. Whether they fall off the cliff or not, you don't get reward points. You have to use this attack in order to score points in this game. Now, this gameplay loop can be fun for a while, like probably an hour at most, but after that, it makes me want to just basically play the game with my eyes closed. Now, there is a stock mode, but a good chunk of the stages you can't fall off in, so your main purpose of attacking is still charging up the final smash and killing him with the final smash, which 9 times out of 10 takes a while for it to fill up. My last big praise with this game, it has to go to the levels. Now, I'm not 100% sure all the tiny little references, but I love the fact that they're mixing multiple franchises in these levels. It gives off way more fan service and adds a bit more to the wacky factor, which I love. I waited over a decade to play this game. This was one of the PlayStation games that before Kingdom Hearts absorbed my life, I was actually very interested in, but no one I knew had it. It was just a game I saw at Walmart one day, and after playing it, I have fun. This is, by all accounts, a good video game, but it has so many flaws to the point where I can't necessarily fully recommend it. First and foremost, like I said, you can't play online unless you pay for a pass, which, to my understanding, is no longer available, so the online functionality is dead. The characters are kind of a jumbled mess of good attributes and just weak characters. It doesn't feel like a celebration of PlayStation as it kind of was marketed as. It feels like just a marketing campaign for PlayStation games that were coming out at that time. I know this game always gets compared to Super Smash Bros, but that's because it's the king of platform fighters. Every Mario has a Sonic. We can have equal platformers and equal platform fighters that play super well, but what Smash Bros gets right is a love and passion for the characters. They don't just throw in a random character for no reason like, haha, there's Steve from Minecraft. He actually made an impact in gaming culture, and Nintendo knew that. More importantly, Sakurai knew that. This game has no vision. I felt like PlayStation higher-ups were seeing the success of Super Smash Bros. Brawl at the time, and they wanted to capitalize on it. Same with the PlayStation Move. But the crazy part about this is that I still think that this is a game that some people should give a shot. If you're a fan of platform fighters like Super Smash Bros, or maybe if you're just a fan of the PlayStation IPs it has, or the video game IPs I should say. I got my copy for $10, and I definitely believe that this game is worth the $10. If you want to experience a platform fighter that's a little different, I'll say break this out at a party or two. You'll probably make some friends while you do it.
But at the same time, it was definitely super creative to see PlayStation's take on the Super Smash Bros. Formula, and I feel like if they were keep making more ideas like it, they could have made a full-on franchise with it. I mean, to be fair, Super Smash Bros. On the N64 wasn't anything too crazy about, but when Melee came out, everyone started talking about it. PlayStation All-Stars could have been the similar situation, but it just gave up too soon, and I don't think we'll ever see a game as creative as this game ever again. But I'm also glad that this isn't owned by Microsoft, or else they'll just lay off all their employees. Microsoft is great! Special thanks to KattChatt for being a member of the Kingdom Keepers. If you want to support the Gaming Trouge, follow my links down below.